snitches, do they in fact get stitches and end up in ditches? Let's find out. Like I've mentioned before, I come from county jail before I did security, and snitches get stitches. And I don't fuck with no rat. No, I'm just kidding. I love a snitch. I love it. Tell me everything. What are they doing? What are they doing? Do you know them? What are you talking about that guy? Tell me everything. So who is a snitch? A snitch is someone who is more than likely caught up in the illegal activity they're reporting to you, or their own drama. Someone who is not a snitch, someone who's going to file a complaint or anonymous tip, or, just come to you with a concern. That's not really a snitch. That's a complaint. But a snitch is always someone who's involved with drama. And I live for the drama. So when a snitch comes up to you, what's going on? Are they avoiding trouble? For example, the other day I had a noise complaint. I got a phone call. My neighbor's upstairs, loud music. It's been going on for a while. I go knock on the door, and he's like, well, I keep smelling weed smoke from across the hall, and you don't see me calling. I think that's pretty fucked up that you want to come over here when there's all this other shit going on. Listen here, snitches. Just because you think you're, guilty of a lesser offense than what someone else is doing, doesn't mean you just get off scot-free. It doesn't work that way. So if you're getting in trouble by me and you want to tattle on someone else, I'm going to listen to that information and I'm going to file it away under, who gives a shit, and I'm going to deal with you. Are they reliable? Probably fucking not. Because they're probably doped out of their gourd. They're probably high on Serenity. And they're just fucking talking shit. But take their information as if, Moses gave it to you himself. Take it, and filter it through those things. Are they avoiding trouble? Are they reliable? One of the things I hate the most when someone is snitching to me is they always want to act interested in my job. And I swear they're deterring me from, they're pulling a ruse. Like there's probably someone stealing a car behind me and they're just like, how'd you get into this? Must be, what does your husband think about you doing this? I don't know if I'd let my woman do that. And my favorite thing that I fucking hate is when they, again, act interested in my job, which is pretty interesting. And I'd be glad to tell you about what I do and why I do it and how I'm here to help you. But when they start telling me, oh, if you need any help, you call me anytime. I'd be glad to. Okay, you're a felon, you can't carry a gun. Get the fuck over yourself. What am I going to do with you? Like, I'm going to walk around with some crackhead sidekick? That would be a great YouTube series. Security officer and the crackhead sidekick. So when someone comes to you and, they have a tip that you kind of does, pique a little concern, see if they'll fill out a form. I keep complaint forms, in my car. If you would like a template of that, hit me up on social media. I'd be glad to send you an easy template. You can also download them online, just witness statement form or complaint form. And, give them the option to do it anonymously. Here's a pro tip. My body cam, when it's on, just powered on, the light is green. I don't think you can see it, but it lights up green. When someone comes up to me and they start, telling me information, I tell them, hold on, let me pop my body camera off. And I hit the record button and turn that motherfucker on. And it turns green. Just like this. Oh, it's red now. But it turns green. So I will tell them, oh, now my body cam, look what you've done to my body cam. But I'll turn it on to where it's green and I'll tell them, turn it on to where it's red and I'll tell them, green means it's recording. I'm always recording, but I've turned it off so you can tell me this tip when actually I've turned it on. Normally I can go in my settings and turn all my sounds off so I don't get that, whatever that was. So definitely do that if you can, record the interaction. At least you've got a face. They may not want to give you their name, or you probably already know their name. Because if you're like me, you kind of have a dossier on every local crackhead that comes through your way. Obtain the info with, honestly, as little interaction as possible. You know, note the information if you can record it, jot something down, and move on. You know, you don't want them thinking that you're best friends. It's not even necessarily because you don't want them to be identified as a snitch or a rat, because honestly, who cares? Everybody already probably knows who's a snitch and who's a rat. But you don't want them thinking you're, you know, best friends with them, because at a later date when they inevitably get in trouble, you don't want them thinking they have a get out of jail free card. So it really removes that awkward, you know, situation of, you know, hey, I told you about, you know, Dirty Diana over here, you know, slinging dope out of her apartment. What's the big deal about me smoking a roach out here in the parking lot? So get the information, move on, and report it. Report it to, of course, your property management, and if it's worth it, report it to your police department. One of the police officers I give information to, he always tells me, you know, sometimes the little things can uncover larger problems. We had a guy out here, listen to this guy. He was in an older car with some big rims. I know, right? And he was slinging dope out of shoe boxes in the back of his car. He was telling, you know, people like me that he was just selling shoes. He didn't live on my property. One night, he would, you know, so I banned him from the property. One night, he was parked in our parking lot. And I've heard around the neighborhood that he can be dangerous. You know, he's not loud and threatening, and he doesn't call me names. In fact, he's nice. He waves, he smiles to me. And it gives me the feeling that if he was going to hurt me or do something to me, he would. And I wouldn't see it coming. You know, one night, one of my residents asked me to meet him up at the corner, which I thought was weird, but I thought maybe something's wrong, or he's probably going to ask me for a ride somewhere, so I'm coming up with excuses. And sure enough, the resident was there and starts going off about his electric bill, which is none of my concern. And the drug dealer in the older car with the rims had me blocked in. I had to jump the curb to get out of there. I mean, that was a dangerous situation. Thank God, you know, nothing came of it. But, you know, a couple nights later, like I said, he was out in our parking lot, and I didn't even approach. I called dispatch, and he ended up getting arrested, and, or actually he didn't. The prostitutes were there with him. You know, they took all the blame for the dope in the car. They all got arrested. He went and bailed him out. About a week later, they had a huge search warrant on his apartment and did a huge drug raid and came out with so much stuff that he's probably looking at, you know, 20 plus years in prison. And that's a large part and due to, you know, information from snitches around here telling me information about him. He was flying drones around the neighborhood. He had his prostitutes that were slinging dope and prostituting. They carried walkie-talkies. I mean, this was high-tech ISIS dope dealer situation. So, like I said, get the information and move on. Those are my tips for having to deal with a snitch. And I would love to hear your stories about snitches that you have dealt with. So drop them below. And I can't wait to see what you...